And I want to talk about this because you got these single mothers, right? Who throughout the years have been known for pinning children on the wrong man, and they know that it's the wrong man. You know, the one thing that these TV shows like Amori's, like some of these other shows where these women take DNA tests for their kids and they test one guy, two guys, three guys, four guys, five guys, six guys. And it's like, none of them are the father. And I used to look at that and I was like, wow, are these women really sleeping with a whole bunch of these guys at the same time? And the answer would probably be yeah. But I honestly believe that these women know who the father is, but they will test a bunch of other guys because they don't want the world to know who that child's father is. It could be somebody that's married or in a relationship, probably with somebody that she knows. Okay? It could be somebody that she knows she will get ridiculed for being the child's father. He might be somebody that is incarcerated, somebody, who pumped her and dumped her. She may not even remember the person's name or where they're from. This is why these women have got to stop sleeping with guys who they don't even know their last names. Especially if you're having unprotected relations with them, at least know the full name. Don't just go by a nickname. Have y'all know? I bet you there are chicks out there, right, that are knowingly in relationships with guys. They don't even know the real name.
Driving in the snowstorm right now, just watching while on my work shift. Lori headphone, cell phone with arrow, cloud with snow, snowman, snowflake.
Thanks, Antoine. Appreciate it, man. Shout out to Antoine for supporting. But I bet you there's a bunch of chicks out here who don't even know the last name of the dude they slept with. Don't even know the first name. So when you see them testing all these guys, it's because those are the guys that they know of. They know where they live. They know what their name is. But you got women who are really out here having one night stands. They're meeting dudes at the mall or at grocery stores, gas stations, and they're having flings with them within probably 15 minutes of knowing them, and they never see them again. That's what they don't want the world to see. They don't want the world to see that they're out here giving it up very quickly to dudes they just meeting. They don't even know the name. They know a nickname. They know the dude's nick. They don't even remember what he looked like. I'm telling you, man. And these chicks are so embarrassed by that. They don't want the world to know that they're out here giving it up to guys that they meeting at gas stations, that they're meeting at the club, at a friend's house, and having unprotected relations with them. We already know there are women out here sleeping with married men. We know that this stuff goes on. It's been going on. It's probably going to keep going on because we know that there's an affinity that the modern day liberal-minded female has for the married man. Because to them, one, a married man is going to be able to keep that situation on the low. He's not going to tell people. He has something to lose. They feel like, okay, well, he's married to a woman, so obviously he must be a higher quality guy, right? But he's not in a relationship with you. You're a side piece. So we all know that there are women getting pregnant by guys that are married or in relationships already. And what happens is you have these women who will go and they will have relations with guys, right? With two different guys at the same time. I mean, you got women out here double declutching like it ain't nothing. Okay. We know that that's going on. We know that there's a lot of double declutching going on out here. So that's why when it comes to the child being born, of course, they don't really know. Maybe they know deep down, but they want the provider. They want the guy who shows more qualities of somebody that they would want to be the father of their child. They're going to want that man to be the father more so than the other guy, because the other guy is just a guy who she has a good time with. Not really a guy that she takes seriously as far as a relationship is concerned, right? So she definitely don't want him to be the father, but she wants that provider type. She wants that guy who may have children and he takes care of his kids. She will put that baby on him. Have him think. This is why I tell you, have to get tested. You can't just be claiming kids and signing birth certificates if you think that they're not yours. But some of these guys, because they're such simps, they will go and try to be a father figure to a child they did not take a test for. And then years later, you find out that it's not yours. And you done grown attached to the child. They got your last name. Now you stuck. Because what you going to do? Just no longer have any contact with the child? When you've been raising them as your own? And then you got the mother sitting there trying to play victim. Don't want to take any personal responsibility for the confusion that she's caused. This is what has gone on for years. You have these single mothers who go out here and they are messy. They have messy dating lives. They're double declutching, and they don't want to admit to it until they get caught up. Until they sick and tired of the guy who's actually been taking care of the child. So they won't, because the other guy done got his stuff together. Now they want him to be the dad. Ain't that something? And that's what goes on. I've seen it. Now they want the other guy to be the father now. Because he's no longer running around being irresponsible. Now like, oh, well, he's actually the dad. He should be in their life.
The scandalous rated behavior has gotten to a whole new level.
Yes, it has, Abby. Appreciate it. And again, no personal responsibility is being taken.
Men never be ashamed to get a DNA test hospital.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the first things you should do. But you got males that don't. And then years later, when she pulls the rug from under these guys, they're looking around looking crazy. No, bro, you had an opportunity to step up and do what you should have done, which was get tested to see if that child was yours. And you never did. You know why? Because you still wanted to have relations with that woman.
Worst part are the disrespectful kids to the dad pouting.
Right. But see, that just shows they never had respect for the dad. Those women are looking for somebody that could financially support those kids at that moment. And the thing, and the reason why I'm speaking about Fetty Wap, his situation, is that I believe he may still be giving her money for that child. Trying to play father to the child, even though the real dad is in the comment section talking about his girl, referring to the little girl that Alexis Skyy has with him. Now, the real father to Alexis Skyy's child is a quote unquote New York businessman. He owns a luxury car dealership. Okay, so we all know why she hooked up with him. Okay. And he's not claiming the child. You know, and again, I would never be out here trying to run up raw and have kids with chicks who I really don't want to be in a relationship like that. But because, again, these guys are such suckers for these women on social media, they're willing to have unprotected relations with them and then try to claim a child with that woman because they still want to be attached to that woman. Because that's all that is. If these guys were actually of intelligence and understood the situation, they will say, well, wait a minute. They say, wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't do this. You know, maybe I should, you know, I mean, if I'm going to chill with her and be cool with her, cool. But, you know, I'm not about to sit here and be having raw relations with chicks I really don't see a future with. But these guys are such suckers, man. They're simps. They're like, well, I got the money. I'll pay. That's how these dudes think. That's how these dudes think until the women get pregnant. Then here they go in denial mode. Now, maybe some of these guys actually want to have children. So they're willing to claim the children because that's what they want, which is fine. But when she comes after you for child support, don't be denying it. Because that's what's happening. I've seen it. These guys getting these child support claims filed against them by these women. These guys in full denial mode. Bro, you weren't in denial mode when you were signing birth certificates and you were claiming the child as your own. Now, maybe these women aren't aggressively going after support, but you still got to be careful at the end of the day. You do. Hold on a second. Shout out to D. Presley with the 10 on Cash Out. Love your recent videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. All right. Make sure y'all like the stream too, man. Let's make sure we get the likes up too, so we can show people that y'all actually like what I got to say. Now, we all can look at these single mothers and look at their situation and say, you know what? These women did it to themselves. They're out here. They're in these streets. They wilding. You know, they don't want to settle down. They don't want to choose better men. But what about when the men are gladly getting with these women, having unprotected relations with these women, to get these women pregnant? What I mean, it's about choices. We can talk about what these women are doing all day long, but if you guys are complicit in it, if you are continuing in the behaviors with them, then you have to be just as responsible in the situation too. But I think this female, Alexis Skyy, she knew who the real father was, but she wanted to have a baby by a rapper. She didn't want people to know she was with some New York businessman. She wanted people to truly believe that she had a baby by a rapper so she can get on reality TV. She chose a career on TV over actually acknowledging who the real father, because she knew deep down who the real father was, but she would rather fight with Fetty Wap's baby mothers, get on social media claiming that she has a baby by this guy, because it fit more of what she was looking for. I mean, she's still out here trying to date rappers. And I think I may have talked about this in my video today about Lamar Odom, right? And his situation, and how he's with a woman who only wants to be with basketball players. She's even raising her son to be a basketball player. She's recording videos of herself on the basketball court. You got these women purposely trying to chase rappers and athletes, and then they wonder why when they 40, they done hit a brick wall. They can't keep a man. They can't get a man because they have unrealistic standards. They're all out here trying to chase men who are emotionally unavailable and are not looking to wife none of these chicks, especially when you're older and you got kids. How many single mothers do we know are out here trying to chase men that don't want them? There are even women who are single mothers talking about they don't want a man with kids. Are you serious? So you want a guy who doesn't have any kids to want to just get with you and get into this ready-made family with you? You're delusional. You're absolutely delusional. Well, a lot of these chicks are, groupies. A lot of them are groupies. Shaq, there was a story about Shaq. He was dating a female who was the baby's mother of Lil Fizz. In 2011, this might have been before she got on reality TV. She was in those groupie circles, right? Dating this athlete and that rapper and this singer. They all in the same circles before people know who they are. They put in work by being a groupie. They put in work by going to all these parties, being around all these guys. This is how they get on reality TV, because they're well known in those circles. They're well known in these circles. It's good, Curtis. Shout out to everybody that's members and moderators. Like the stream too. All right. Now, again, we do have to hold these women accountable, but I don't want y'all to think that I'm not going to hold these males accountable as well, who run up in these females raw, not understanding the mistake that they're going to make. They're going to pay for it for 18 years if you're not careful. These females is double declutching. Okay. There's anything that we should know. Any female who's on Instagram or on social media like that, OnlyFans, reality TV, she's double declutching, bro. She's sleeping with more than one guy. These women don't know what monogamy is. They always talk about the guys that they're with cheating, but they're doing the same thing. They're just not getting caught. They're not being monogamous to these guys, man. They're out here double declutching. This is proof. How you dating this guy, but the child that people think that y'all have together, that's both of yours and yours and his, is actually somebody else. It's because you were double declutching. You were having unprotected relations with two different guys at the same time. These chicks are out here just being grossly incompetent with their box. That's what it looks like. And that's what's going on, especially in a situation with Alexis Skyy, Fetty Wap, in this situation.